Hi there, my name is Toby, and on this channel I'm hoping to share with you my own personal training method that I've been working on for many years, and it's sort of incidental. I've developed this through many years of internal and external martial arts training, and also fixing my body. I've had multiple problems in my body, 5 years back pain and many surgeries, and in doing so I've discovered this new way of training, and it's quite unusual, but what I'm doing is I'm searching for efficiency. So it's not so much directly fitness, strength, mobility, but I'm looking for efficiency. How can I get the most out of my body by putting in the least effort? And what I'm doing is somewhere between martial arts and dancing. You see, I'm doing martial arts, but I'm doing it more like a dancer. And I'm doing dancing, but I'm doing it with a martial arts purpose. It's somewhere between the two. And the reason is I've discovered that the most efficient way of holding the body, or in my opinion, is more like a dancer. I'm holding the frame up. I'm holding the natural S-curve of the spine, so I'm trying to keep my body in its natural position, but there's also a slight internal stretch. I'm elongating. I'm feeling a suspension from above. So my rib cage is slightly open, my belly is pulled in, and I've got a slight arch in the lumbar spine. But what I'm trying to do is maintain the natural S-curve of the spine as if I were floating in space. So there's no forces acting on my body. What position will my body go back to? And that is the position I'm trying to find, and then use that position to stretch away from it, but always come back to this, as close to this natural position as I can find. You see, I've got to find a nice center line through the spine and pivot along there. I've got to feel this inside. So this is about body awareness. And so I'm calling this training body efficiency training. And I'm trying to boil it down into some very simple exercises that I can share with you and explain what it is I'm trying to do. So this has got to be the very first one, and this is level 3, the advanced version of it. But what we're doing is starting off by just standing up and twisting left and right. So this is the beginner level, and I've done a beginner level and intermediate level, so I do suggest you go back and have a look. This is advanced level, and what we're doing is just twisting a little bit further, and you can see I'm starting to move my body a little bit left and right, and jump a little bit through the body, and I'm making a slight adjustment in the hips. I'm also levering the hips slightly forward as I come to the middle and standing up a bit straighter at either side, and I'm trying to loosen up the arms completely, elbows and wrists completely loose. Here you can see the motion I'm trying to do with my lower body. I'm on the ball of the feet are slightly out. I'm wider than shoulder width, maybe 1.5 shoulder width. I'm trying to keep the S-curve in the spine and lever at the hips. So I'm levering at the hips as I bend down, and rising up from the hips as I go to side. So I'm using the glutes, I'm pulling in the belly, so I've got to hold the TA muscle in the obliques tight, and I've got to use the obliques to twist, and I catch my body with the obliques so I don't over twist. It's very important you don't over twist. But what I'm trying to do is feel a flow through the body. From the ball of the feet, I'm on the ball of the feet, I'm doing a little jump and pumping that through the hip and through the lever in the hip into the spine. So I'm levering up the spine, and then I'm flowing that out into the arms. And now you can see I do one arm at a time, and this is moving towards martial arts. You can see this is becoming a strike, but a very efficient, relaxed strike. The arm is doing nothing. It's totally relaxed. You just imagine you're throwing out a frisbee. But there's no frisbee. The frisbee is your hand, and you're flowing the blood out, so the blood rushes out to the fingers. You're moving the lymphatic system, and you're trying to feel an inner flow. You're trying to create a whip. Now, a whip is very important. It's very efficient. It's an efficient way of generating speed and power. It's an acceleration. You see, the whip starts off slow, so from the foot I'm pumping the whip, and that's quite slow. But by the time it reaches the very tip of the fingers, at the apex of the whip, it's reached maximum acceleration, and you can feel that right out your fingertips. You're trying to feel the apex of the whip right at the end, and a nice extension in your arm. But you've got to be careful. You can jar your elbows, so you've got to work up to this very slowly. This is advanced practice, so do the level 1 and level 2 first a bit before you practice this, and be very careful. There are risks, and you're practicing at your own risk. This is just the way I do it. So you see, what I'm doing is flinging out in a whip. I'm trying to create this inner flow, and the whip must be uninterrupted. If you break the flow of the whip, you lose the power. You see, you've got to transmit the power from the foot all the way to the fingertips, and it must be uninterrupted. There's got to be a flow, a wave, a whip, and this is what I'm trying to practice. I'm practicing body flow, trying to feel this inner flow, and I'm also practicing posture. I've got to hold my body in a good posture, because a good posture will allow a more efficient flow. So I'm trying to hold my spine nice and vertical in its natural S curve. You see, my body is bent. There's a certain amount of relaxation, but I'm trying to control my structure from the inside. And now I'm doing a bit more of a slightly different swing. You see, I'm lifting the arm up to the opposite shoulder and swinging it across in a horizontal plane, but I'm bending and straightening the elbow. So I'm allowing another lever. Now, again, the trick is to do this relaxed. So the arm is relaxed, and you've got to try and use your body to swing your arm up to where it wants to go. Imagine your arm is a nunchuck. It's attached to your shoulder. It's a dead arm. It can't do anything. And you have to generate the whole motion and this whip in the arm and the lever in the elbow from the body. So it takes a lot of practice. And there are a lot of internal kung fu styles that work on this arm swinging, and they take it very, very seriously. They say you need to do about 1 million arm swings before you really get the feeling of how this applies to martial arts. And that sounds like a lot, but it's about 15 minutes a day for 3 or 4 years. Now, I'm hoping I can explain this better and you can get this in a matter of weeks. But it does require practice, and I suggest you try level 1 and level 2 first, because you want to get the feeling of the spine. It's all about the spine. And then from the spine, you transfer the whip out through the arm. And it's got to go out through the rib cage, the shoulder, the elbow, and then the wrist. So here, this is the very beginner level, nice and easy, standing nearly tall and straight, and just twisting ever so gently. You're controlling it from the obliques. And then do a deep breath in, lift up, stretch up, and a deep breath out as you stand up straight. So you're still standing up nice and tall on the ball of the feet. This is my dynamic standing posture. Again, nice and tall like a dancer. Okay, I hope this made sense and you enjoyed this little workout. Look forward to seeing you again in the next video.